Hi, my name's Andrea. I'm a writer, reader, movie lover, musician, techie, but what overarches all of these wonderfully geeky subjects is my love for science fiction and fantasy. I love fiction of all sorts, but I always find myself gravitating towards the mystical, the inventive, the often impossible but sometimes plausible ideas that this subject encompasses. I'm not really sure when this first started interesting me, except that I started writing my first fantasy novel when I was about 12. I also remember watching the old Star Trek when I was pretty young, so I think I've always been a little warped. Puns. In my vlogs, I'll be talking about books, movies, TV shows, and anything else related to sci-fi and fantasy culture. I could tell you what's going on, like if they decided to remake the Aragon movie, except actually follow the book's plot this time. Maybe I take a look at how the Hunger Games book was able to capture all of Katniss's thoughts and opinions, whereas the movie was able to show a little bit of the enemy's perspective. I could talk about how there's been a trend of superhero movies lately and what this might mean, like maybe that it's boosting the comic book world and putting it more in the spotlight than it's ever been before. I'll give you news, updates, or reviews, or maybe I'll delve deep into concepts and topical issues that really concern this community. You want to discuss something magical, intergalactic, or otherworldly? I'm your girl. For this first episode, I'm just going to try and answer the basic but oh so important question, what is science fiction and fantasy? Ugh, who decided this was a good idea? Me? Science fiction and fantasy really means something different to everybody. Most of you probably already have an idea in your head of what it is, maybe an idea that's pretty similar to mine. But in case you're a little newer to the subject, or just so you can see kind of where I'm coming from and how I'm going to approach this really broad topic, I'm going to strip it down to the very basics. At its most basic, it's a genre, or technically two genres, within the category of speculative fiction. Speculative fiction is anything that has fantastical elements, or things that are impossible in the world that we live in. Science fiction typically refers to things that are grounded in scientific concepts, things that are impossible now, but that may actually be plausible. Things like time travel, space exploration, planets and aliens, mutants, and even some paranormal themes can all be considered science fiction. And even though some people like to make a distinction between science fiction and sci-fi, I'm just going to use them interchangeably in my vlogs. Fantasy, on the other hand, tends to center around magic and the supernatural, things that are larger than life and most likely completely impossible. So this includes wizards and witches, dragons and elves, mythological gods and creatures, and anything enchanted or mysteriously imbued with some kind of unexplainable power. There's a lot of overlap between these two, as you can imagine and probably already know. That's why they're often discussed together and appreciated by a common audience. Basically, at its core, sci-fi and fantasy is exploring the outskirts of the human imagination. Not just inventing new characters and situations, but actually creating an alternate version of the world as we know it. It's just so cool! For my vlogs, I'm going to draw on my own thoughts and observations and your feedback. I'm going to be listening to you guys for your input to see what kind of stuff that you're interested in and what you want to explore. So make sure you like and favorite when you enjoy a video, fill up the comment section with your responses, and share these videos with anybody you think might enjoy them too. I'm passionate about this and I want to share that passion with you, whether you're just as obsessed as I am or you need a little convincing. Trust me, if you're not geeky about this to start with, you will be. I hope you're as excited about this as I am. I'll see you soon.